This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Are you ready to travel? We got all the travel buzz here on Smart People, Travel Wise with Alvin Adriano on PHLV Radio.
Hello, mabuhay, and greetings wherever you are. I'm so excited to say hello to all of our viewers today, and it's been a fun-filled month. We brought some special guests on this month. Last week, I brought on Alaskan expert Tia Frell from Visit Anchorage, and she just mesmerizes us with all the insights and tips about venturing up north to the great state of Alaska. It's not only an adventure or an outdoor vacation. Anchorage is a multi-generational destination that is exotic but domestic. But that brings me to today's guest. All throughout the show, we have been able to bring you insider access to various perspectives of travel, from consulate generals to cruise lines. But today, I'm excited to bring our viewers closer to a very unique and breathtaking destination. And our guest today is here to help us discover the reasons to plan our next vacation to Jordan. I'm your host, Alvin Adriano, CEO of TravelWise International, and today's show will be bringing you the mysterious and bucket list destination of Jordan. It's a traveler's dream introduction to the Middle East. Safe and friendly, the destination gets travelers up close to world wonders and immerses them in world-class hospitality. You'll feel right at home once you slip into the culture of this easy-going country. But before we get started, as a reminder, for all of our viewers and our listeners watching or listening, please hashtag live and let us know where you're watching this. If you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay. Share where you're watching them so we can make sure we acknowledge all of you. And then don't forget to catch our show on Facebook and YouTube, or you can listen on the show on Amazon Fire, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Or even better, download the app PHLV Radio, available on all iOS and Android device. So today's guest is Omar Banihani. Throughout his tenure in tourism administration and marketing, he has been fortunate to work with some of the most incredible people around the planet. Collaborating on strategies that have been increasing travel to regions such as Jordan's, where misunderstanding has presented barriers in the past. His most significant is his ability to identify opportunities for shared meaning, capitalizing on resources, strategies, and initiatives that enhance curiosity, engagement, awareness, and appreciation. He is a local. He has a BA in advertising communications from Brigham Young University and a master's degree in tourism administration from GW University in Washington, D.C. He brings in-depth expertise in leveraging channels to create tourism opportunities that benefit visitors and local communities alike. He appreciates the value and responsible tourism and has to support regional priorities, bolstering economic sustainability while persevering the things that make each place so special. So please smash those heart buttons and give Mr. Omar Banihani a well-deserved thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Alvin, and thank you, everybody, for being here today. And thank you for this opportunity to talk about our beloved country, Jordan.
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, we've talked about some great destinations, but Jordan is one of those places that people have always put on your bucket list. And I'm sure you're going to tell us exactly why.
Yeah, Jordan is one of those places where you don't know until you go there what it is that it has to offer. And a lot of people that go to Jordan, they come back saying, they go there thinking that they're going to go see Petra, one of the world's 7 wonders, and they're going to go to the Dead Sea and see all these great historical, natural wonders that Jordan has to offer. But a lot of them come back and they say the highlight of the trip was the Jordanian people.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that a lot of travelers are surprised of how well that society is pulled together and how welcoming they are to outside visitors from around the world. And it is such a beautiful attribute to a destination like Jordan. And again, as you said earlier, I think it'll be a great place for you when you're starting your tour. Let's say you're exploring the Middle East. I think Jordan would be an excellent start. There are lovely destinations around us as well that we encourage people to go and see as well. But Jordan is a focus today, and there is so much to talk about. So I'll let you lead the conversation, Alvin.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, the big topic for everyone now is travels on the biggest restart, as we all know. I believe Jordan just opened its doors last month. And so basically, how is the rebound or revitalization of tourism in Jordan going? And
Mhm.
what should travelers expect when they first arrive on your land?
Absolutely. So, just like many destinations, obviously, COVID has affected the arrivals into the country and the procedures in the airport and on border controls, just like anybody else. But we've been open for a little over a month for international travelers. We've seen a lot of American travelers coming in the last month, and the numbers were very surprising, to be honest with you. We did not expect the rebound to be this quick. And the numbers are great. Of course, not compared to anything what we had in 2019, which was a record year for us. We had over 1 million visitors to Petra alone from the globe, and we had around 250,000 American leisure travelers into the country. But we see a lot of Americans again. One of the things that we were all saying is, we're going to look for those cavaliers that will get on that flight out as soon as things open up. And we did see a lot of Americans coming in, and of course some other countries as well, bringing in some great numbers of tourists and travelers. But the country is just like anywhere else. We have all the cleanliness and the procedures at the airport and procedures at the hotels and in the sites and on the buses, and just what you would expect a country to be prepared. I mean, Jordan, just so everybody understands, Jordan relies heavily on tourism for its GDP. It's a little over 15% of the GDP of the economy in Jordan. So you can only imagine how much how much money and resources and time we had to put into it to make sure that the destination is prepared to receive travelers. I could tell you that the process in the airport is very easy, quick, and it is very efficient. You'll be surprised at how efficient a country in the Middle East can be with these things. But it is a wonderful experience going in. I've personally talked to a lot of travelers that have been back and forth, and also some travel advisors that I have spoken to as well, people that are colleagues of ours in the industry that were there and came back and said it was lovely. And maybe one of the things is they were saying there are no crowds.
Yeah.
And it's a double-edged sword, because we want people to go, but at the same time, hey, as long as you're one of the cavaliers getting on a flight and going, you're going to enjoy the small number of crowds in the destination on these sites, and get to experience Jordan a little differently. But we definitely see the numbers coming in.
Mm-hmm.
This fall, we have a lot of people booked to go to Jordan, and the spring, summer, and fall of next year, they're looking great. So we are the light at the end of the tunnel is here. So we're very excited about that.
Oh, that's so awesome, and I'm so glad to hear it. I mean, tourism is a big part of so many destinations, and I'm so glad that the light is at the end of the tunnel. After 15 months of just darkness and unknowing the certainty of what will happen, I'm so happy for all the Jordanian people being able to get back to their lives. And I guess, one of the biggest things that we need to talk about is, again, all these innovations because of the pandemic. We talk about safety and sanitations, but through the pandemic, has there been any new innovations or any new attractions or unique experiences that arose from this pandemic?
I want to say I have an answer to that, but it's a little different.
Okay.
I don't think we innovated during. I think we innovated right before.
Oh.
It was 2018. What we did is we partnered up with Tourism Cares, and we put together something called the Meaningful Travel Map. If you go to golocalJordan.com,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you find the Meaningful Travel Map. And what is the Meaningful Travel Map? It's a map that has 12 social enterprises in the country that you can go visit. You can cook with the locals, eat local food. You can weave a basket, or you could buy some handicrafts, stay overnight, and also experience one-on-one with the Bedouin culture in the country. One of the social enterprises is an eco lodge in Finan. It's called the Finan Eco Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
And what characterized the main characteristic of all of those social enterprises is they are locally run, they are bookable experiences. They do have a lot of added value to your time in the destination, and they're off the beaten path in terms of experience itself, but it is on the path as you travel throughout the country. So when you're in Jerash, you can go to a social enterprise nearby. When you're in Petra, you can go to a social enterprise nearby. What we did is we partnered with Tourism Cares. We invited 70 industry leaders from primarily North America and the world. And they were able to go and see it. They included it in their itineraries. And travelers have been going and experiencing it. And I think, so to answer your question is, we've been focusing more on that, on promoting that, making sure that they do get the love and the travelers are going there. So one of the things that we did during the pandemic was highlight that a lot more. And also we're working on expanding that travel, the meaningful travel map to include more social enterprises. So we can make a trip to Jordan very easy for the travel planners, advisors, operators, and also the consumers to go into Jordan and experience those local social enterprises and what they have to offer. So, and it's been very popular. A lot of people have been very interested in that. And we saw a trend that people want to do something more sustainable, more off the beaten path, and also more local. So they want to eat the food, they want to breathe the air, they want to talk to the people. And we saw that. So that's, if you consider that, consider that the innovation is just us focusing a lot more on something that we saw as an excellent addition to our destination.
No, that's awesome. That's wonderful. And I think that's a really important aspect because, after this pandemic, a lot of people are looking forward for meaningful travel. I mean, people are looking for, to find an emotion or a fulfillment of something. They've seen how anything can happen. And, in our agency, we're finding more people trying to find these destinations that they've always wanted to go because they don't know if next year will be the last year. And it sounds maybe morbid, but, people are being more responsible when they travel. They want to make sure that they get the experiences that they want. And so that has also allowed you to really focus on different demographics. I know Jordan's known for being a religious destination, but you've recently opened your doors for family travel and the female solo travel. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have been focusing on that actually for the last few years. Religious and faith-based travel, the way we like to call it, has always been one of our focuses in terms of promoting it, making sure that we provide the proper experiences on the ground as well. And just promoting and letting people know what it is that the destination has to offer. For the faith-based travel, we have over 36 biblical sites that you can go and visit. One of them is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. It's called the Bethany Beyond the Jordan, with the baptism site by the Jordan River as well. And you can go and see history in that site. You can go and get baptized in that site, and many more, so many of them. And there is a website called holyjordan.com. And if you go on that, you can really learn so much about what a faith travel experience in Jordan would look like. And there are sample itineraries, places, explanations of where and what stories from the Bible and the Old Testament took place in Jordan and where they were. So you can really bring that to life as you go through the country.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then what you, in terms of women travel, you were saying, and family travel is great. It's always been great at Jordan just because it's an excellent place to go when you have kids or you want to really be together with your family. I mean, that's something you can really sense in Jordan the minute you land, is that people are a lot more, they're a lot closer to each other. It's a society where you're still in Amman, in a metropolitan big city, but yet people still have that old school connections, and social life in Jordan is very, very important. There's a lot of great things that society has to offer. But female travel has been really interesting because people didn't think that going to Jordan as a solo female traveler or a group of females traveling into the country, I don't know for what reason it was, but they would think that it's not something that you would want to do. But at the same time, it's just like, well, it's been happening for years, but I think we were just covered by the media a lot more recently because we become one of those destinations. I want to say 2017 to 19, we had a huge influx of new travelers coming to the country. I believe it was because of maybe social media, a lot of media coverage, a lot more travelers going into the country and sharing their experiences. That Jordan has had that come up. And I think it was also female travel has been increasing globally. And I think we were just lucky to have taken advantage of that and made sure that we attracted as many of them as possible. But there are actually some really good female travel itineraries that were put together. So many influencers are sending, people are going on trips to Jordan, and it's just been fun. But yeah, it's been always open and always welcoming to female travelers. But I think we just followed with the international trend that has been happening recently.
No, social media has been so advantageous for destinations. You know, when people talk about Jordan, they don't sometimes realize that some of the pictures that they see is places in Jordan. You know, like night gazing or just looking at Wadi Rum with all their picturesque, breathtaking views, Petra, the Dead Sea. I mean, you can go all the way to Anjara, Jerash. I mean, there's tons of places. And I feel like a lot of people started becoming more aware about the Bible. They wanted to get more empowered and learning all about the history because, I mean, Jordan is all lined with biblical stories, all of the fables and tales. And I think when you see the amount of adventure travel that happens in Jordan, you know, rock climbing and aero sports, you're just amazed by how much this country really has to offer. And even when you go down south, when you go down to where all the cruise ports are, and having access to that, people just don't know how much you can really get in Jordan. So I think that's a very, very unique point that we brought up. But you know, everyone heard of the famous sites that we go to Jordan, Petra, Wadi Rum, Amman. But what are some unique attractions, some new new sites for travelers to think about when they consider going to Jordan?
I think, of course, everybody has access to an 8-day itinerary into Jordan, which is the norm. I think it's the best seller, basically. So if you're a travel advisor, if you're a traveler yourself or an operator, you're looking more at, you know, Jordan as a standalone destination. You go in there for 7 to 8 nights and you're experiencing the highlights. Things like Amman, Jarash, Madaba, Karak, Dead Sea, Petra, Aqaba, Wadi Rum, right?
Yeah.
That's what you can do. Be very quick, but you get to see a lot of the destination. These are the highlights. However, we don't have any new sites in Jordan. They're all ancient. So that's, you know, if you're saying new, I don't think we have a lot of new stuff. I mean, if you're in Amman, there's a lot of great new properties, 5-star hotels, experiences, amazing restaurants, amazing nightlife. I mean, that's all there. Amman is really well known for its rooftops. It's something I actually tell people, if the weather is nice, you should definitely experience nightlife in Amman when you're out in the capital. But some of the experiences that are not as, some of the sites that are not as experienced or visited,
like the off the beaten path experiences.
Off the beaten path. You know, there's Rasas is close to Amman. You can go there. It's actually one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So that's maybe one thing I would say is we have 6 World Heritage Sites in Jordan, UNESCO. Wow. One of them, the latest one, is actually the city of As-Salt, which is not that far from Amman, about a 35-minute drive. And that's one, it's an ancient city. And Rasas is another one that's not that visited that many, well, not even close to what, let's say, Petra gets. And yet it's still a mesmerizing place. Amazing, really well preserved Byzantine era, mosaic art and mosaic floors. And I think one of the other ones that I really specifically like myself that I don't see a lot of people do are the desert castles in the eastern part of the Badia, the eastern part of the desert, about a 2-hour drive from Amman. Yeah, those are really nice. Some of them very well preserved. And also one of them is called Qasr Amra or Qusayr Amra, and it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. And it is really well preserved with frescoes inside and just really nice. And that would be an extension to your night in Amman. You're not necessarily staying out there, but you would go to Azraq Reserve, wetland reserve, and you can do bird watching out there. There's a lot of bird watching in Jordan, believe it or not, and it's not something that is as well covered as other destinations in the country or other sites in the country. So there's so much more. There's a lot of nature. There's a lot of hiking. There are two products as well that are relatively new in the last few years. They are the Jordan Trail, which takes you through the north of the country to the south. Takes about 40 plus days to complete, but you could do parts of it, obviously. But that takes you through the whole country, go through over 50 villages, and it is all locally run, local stays, camping, and all that. The other one is the Jordan Bike Trail, which mimics the Jordan Trail in terms of its geography and how you go through. But it is wonderful. Mountain bikes, and people can have fun and camp. And obviously it takes a lot less than hiking it, but it is also one of those things. So there's a lot of new organic products that are coming up, but they're just basically it's a spin on the old, creating something new. But yeah, Jordan is an open air museum, and it's an adult's playground, to be honest with you. It's so much fun to be there.
Yeah, that's so exciting. You mentioned a lot of stuff. I'm still relatively young, and so hiking and trekking and all that through the Rift Valley is so awesome. And you talk about biking. My dad loves to go biking. I think that's going to be an experience on its own, going through those majestic rock formations, and you're just seeing it through the desert. Again, those are things that are unique to Jordan, and things that people don't realize, outside of the religious and the wonders of the world that are all in your lands. And so, these are amazing experiences. A lot of people are getting excited about traveling and trying to figure out where they want to go next. You mentioned that Jordan had surprising numbers, coming back on the rebound. Do you forecast it's going to be even harder to get into flights now? And what do you recommend as far as, I guess, seasonality? When's the best time to go to Jordan?
This is kind of a complicated question. I'm going to try to answer that as much as possible. With air travel at the moment, obviously, everybody understands that the air traffic internationally has not recovered 100%. Yeah. So you're not necessarily going to have the same options you had in 2019 when you go to Jordan. Virtually every airline alliance offered travel to Jordan from various different cities from around the globe. I think now it's rebounding. Things are airlines are coming back. It's they're just suspended because of the travel restrictions, but now they're just, I think, navigating the waters and trying to understand how we can supply the seats for the demand that is coming in. And I think there's a learning curve there, and just understandably, but you can still fly on Royal Jordanian. Obviously, we have 3 flights out of North America from Montreal, Chicago, and New York. Yep. And those are nonstop flights into Amman, easy, beautiful aircrafts, 787 Dreamliners that fly over here, great service. But there's also, I don't think it's necessarily booking up. I know Turkish Airlines has been a great airline that brought a lot of people to Jordan from the globe, specifically also from North America. You can still find tickets on them and fly to Jordan relatively easy these days. You have plenty of options. And but I want to say right now it's still good to go. I actually do recommend you go now, now this fall. I do recommend that you do that because you're still going to be able to take advantage of some really good deals at the moment still, as travel has not recovered the way we want it to be, specifically, basically filling up the hotels, filling up the flights over to the country, and then trying to look at how can we grow as well, because we definitely see a huge growth coming in 2022. So forecasting is all looking great. I think we're now focusing on trying to bring in quality travelers rather than just quantity, just the numbers coming in. We're not trying to bring in flux of people that, just mass tourism. We would like to, we are a boutique destination that can handle a lot of travel numbers. However, we want to make sure that everybody's coming in to experience a destination, not just to visit. Yeah. So, that's just part of the ethos of our organization and how we, what kind of travel we believe we should be receiving in the country. But yes, we do see that one thing that I could also mention is that for travel advisors or travel and industry, the industry professionals, I could tell you that there are some issues with hotel availability in 2022 and 2023, just because there's so much pent-up demand that a lot of companies, organizations, agencies, operators that have been booking slots of rooms in these properties. So you still find something, but we definitely have that anticipation of just making sure that we do have the inventory. And most of the properties are open now, and they're all scrambling to get things back to normal, because we have a really big influx of travelers coming in, or bookings coming in as well. So, it will take time, just like any other destination, but we definitely see forecasts are looking absolutely amazing and very, very positive. So I urge you, if you want to go to Jordan, this is your time. This is your opportunity. Make sure that you book, contact your travel advisor, contact Alvin, let him know what you need. Alvin can make it happen.
You're making me excited because I really want to go. I mean, looking at some of these pictures and just talking to you, do you have any tips or advice for those planning to visit Jordan, Petra, Dead Sea, and crossing them off their bucket list?
I want to say it's not going to be COVID related, because I honestly don't feel like we should be talking about that anymore. I mean, as long as you can take your vaccine, you can make sure that you're socially distancing and you're cleaning your hands and you're washing and all that good stuff that we've been hearing for over 15 months. So as long as you're comfortable traveling, obviously, then going to Jordan is not going to seem like anything different than going anywhere else that you're comfortable going to in your hometown. And that is number one for COVID, let's say. But what I would actually want to say is bring sunscreen, make sure that you spend enough time in the destination, know that there's going to be a lot of walking, so bring comfortable shoes. Make sure that you take advantage of local experiences from the Meaningful Travel Map. When you're wearing your Petra, stay 2 to 3 days if you can, because it's a vast, vast site. And if you really want to experience it, you really got to go and spend enough time. Even if you go in the winter time, we get over 300 days of sun a year. So it's a relatively sunny destination, even if it's in December. We do get some rain November to February, and it gets a little cold at night specifically, but destination is a year-round destination. So don't be discouraged by the time of the year. You should go anytime you find time off and you have some money saved up to go somewhere. You should go ahead and just book it. And I would actually encourage everybody to book as quickly as they can, just because if 2019 was an indicator for us, we're looking at a really, really bright future for travel to Jordan, and we're looking at really big numbers coming in. So that's just us letting you guys know. So use that as advice from your Jordanian friend, Omar.
That's so awesome. And I'm so happy to hear that. I mean, we've been in such a rut lately, and now hearing all these great news is so exciting, because, that's what we all want to do. We've been inspired watching Instagram for 15 months. So we really want to make this happen. We want to be able to provide these kind of services. You mentioned there's just so much information to be shared, and you were kind of saying some of your websites, but if someone wanted to find information about what to do, where to go, how to get to Jordan, do you have websites or social handles that you can share with our viewers today?
Absolutely. So if you're in North America, you can go to myjordanjourney.com. That's a website that has everything you need, and it's a specific website for English speakers in North America. If you speak Spanish and you're in let's say, Mexico, we have visitajordania.com. That's also a website that we handle here, and it has a lot of information, everything you need, sample itineraries, times to go, where to go. Also, the Meaningful Travel Map link is on that website. Another one, which is our international website, which is visitjordan.com. Obviously, you can go there and learn so much about it, connect with what the product can offer, how long you want to stay there. And then our social media handles, you just type in Visit Jordan at any, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the other good ones. Just our handle is Visit Jordan. And you want to do a hashtag Visit Jordan. It's the easiest one to use. and it's really the widely used hashtag, and is really how we reach out to people through social media. So we have a huge presence as well there, and we're always sharing really interesting new things and fun experiences that people can enjoy in Jordan.
That's awesome. And yes, having all these resources is awesome, and being able to access it. And if you just hashtag Jordan, we'll make sure that we put all the social handles and connect you with the information that you need. But thank you so much, Omar, for being here. Absolutely. I know you're a busy person. We're all excited about travel, and we're all always on the go. But with that said, is there any final thoughts that you wanted to share with our viewers?
Come to Jordan. Hey, we're done. Hey, be careful. If you can get vaccinated, please go do it. If you want to travel with caution. Obviously, you got to make sure that you exercise cleanliness, and when you go to Jordan, make sure that you try the food. And just an FYI, if you go to Jordan, you're probably going to gain about 5 pounds in a week because of how amazing the food is. So maybe go for a couple of jogs before you go. And just go there and enjoy yourself. Jordanians are very welcoming, hospitable people. And Jordan's not going to be what you imagine it. We used to say, one of our slogans back in the days, you cannot imagine, until you experience it, you cannot imagine it. And I can't agree more with a statement. And maybe I'll leave everybody with that. So I really hope you get to make it to Jordan. I really hope that you guys enjoyed our conversation today. And thank you, Alvin, for having me here today. And I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And congratulations to you and Jordan for your efforts to stabilize tourism and build back demand. So thank you so much, Omar. I hope we catch up. And I definitely hope we're in person in Jordan, because we definitely would love to see that place. So thank you.
For sure. Thank you, Alvin.
Awesome. So a safe haven in an area of conflict, Jordan has wonders throughout its land, and for centuries, its World Heritage sites, friendly towns, and inspiring desert landscapes continue to amaze travelers and globetrotters. Their tradition of welcoming visitors is apparent as they begin welcoming their first travelers from the pandemic. It's a destination that caters to many demographics. There's something for everyone. You can take a ride through Wadi Rum at sunset, visit the ancient ruins at Petra, or even relax and rejuvenate in the biggest spa in the world, the Dead Sea. Jordan is an amazing destination that you should consider in the future. So if you're looking to plan a vacation to Jordan and reach out to our award-winning travel agency, contact TravelWise International at 301-248-8898 or visit us on the web at www.itravelwise.com. We would love to help plan an amazing vacation for you and your family. But thank you again for all the viewers listeners who've been able to join our show. Without your support and views, this would not be possible. And we are so thrilled to be able to share our knowledge and our experience with all of you. Smart People Travel Wise airs every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time and 3 p.m. East Coast time. So again, my name is Alvin Adriano, CEO of TravelWise International, a Filipino-owned and operated travel agency that is dedicated in serving the Filipino community since 1989. We're dedicated to helping our clients make their dreams reality. Till next time, smart people, travel wise.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.